Hello guys, I have here a tutorial showing you how to add purchasable upgrades to your player home in the Creation Kit. Now, all you're really going to need, you could build a house from scratch, of course, but right now, all I have is just a house here outside of Falkreath and an interior, and it's basically empty. And that's what I'm going to be using as an example. And the first step I'm going to take is actually to go to the interior of my house. So I could just double click this door marker here. And here I am. And as you can see, it's pretty empty here, and that's what I really want. And the first step I'm going to take here, turn on grid snap actually, and I'm going to add 2 X markers. Okay, so I have these 2 X markers here, and once you've done that, you're going to want to right click the first X marker and hit edit, and then you're going to want to go over to where it says location reference type, and then in the drop down box just begin to type color, and you'll come across all these colors that you can basically add to it, and adds a colored block above it just so you can kind of easily identify it. And I'm going to add the color orange above this one, and I'm going to give it a reference editor ID, and I'm going to call upgrade marker old. And that's it. That's all I have to do with this X marker. And basically, hit OK here. What this X marker will do is when it is disabled, it will disable all the old stuff in the house that we want to remove when we upgrade it. And now I'm going to click the second X marker, right click it and hit edit. And for location reference type, I'm going to put a color above it, and that color for me is going to be green. You can put whatever color. And I'm going to call upgrade marker new. And make sure that in the bottom left hand corner you check initially disabled and then click OK. And this X marker, when it is enabled, will go ahead and add all the stuff that you want in the house when you upgrade it. So now that we have those 2 X markers here, we're going to go ahead, just for an example, I'm going to go ahead and add some stuff, some old stuff that'll be disabled when the house gets upgraded. Okay, so these are just for an example, of course. You can add whatever you like to initially have in your house. But so I have these 3 items here, and these are going to be the items that I want to be disabled when I upgrade the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click one, then hold control and click the others, and now I'm going to hit the minus key, and it brings up this batch action box here, and I'm going to make sure I have like all the correct things selected, make sure that I'm not disabling or selecting anything that I want to keep when it gets upgraded. And I'm going to tick set enable parent, and then I'm going to check or click select reference and render window, and I'm going to double click the old marker, the one with the orange box above it, and then I'm going to click do, and I'm going to exit out here. Okay, so as you can see, it's drawn this line to them, symbolizing that when this is the enable parent. So when it gets enabled, these items get enabled. When it gets disabled, these items get disabled. And now I'm going to go ahead and add items that are going to be added when the house gets upgraded. But I don't want to look at all these here, so I'm going to right click, I'm going to right click this, and I'm going to click select enable state children, and then I'm going to hold control and uncheck the X marker, and then I just hit the 1 key twice to hide them. And as you can see, they're hidden from view so that we can work with the house and view the way it's going to look when it gets upgraded. So now I'm going to add some upgrade stuff. Okay, so I've just added, for an example, 3 things that will be enabled when it gets upgraded. So what I'm going to do is, like with the items we're going to disable, I'm going to control click them, select all 3 of them, and I'm going to hit the minus key. And it brings up again this batch action window, and set enable parent is already checked. Make sure it is if it isn't, and make sure you have the correct item selected. Then click select reference and render window, and double click the X marker with the green block over it, the new X marker, and click do again and exit out. And now if I want to view everything again, I just hold the Alt key and hit 1, and then I can go ahead and right click the new X marker, select enable children and hide them, just to go ahead and kind of easily view my house. And now I'm done. So I have the items that are going to get disabled, the old crap, and I have the items that are going to get enabled. And if you want to go ahead and do this one by one, you can do that, of course. I'll show you right now. Actually, I'm just going to add this just for an example here, right? And say I want this enabled, right? I'm going to right click it, go to edit, and then I'm going to go over to where it says enable parent and do the same thing. So I select reference in render window and double click the green marker. But that's actually not what I want to do. So I'm going to delete this. Alright, I'm all set for the inside of my house, and as long as you do this and you're all set, we're ready to go on to the next step. And that is going to be adding an actor because this is going to be a purchasable upgrade. So we're going to need somebody to purchase it from. So I'm going to delete this in the filter here. Then when I go to actors, I'm going to expand it. Go to actor under that and right click in here and click new. And we're just going to go ahead and add a new actor. If you want to look up a detail guide on how to add one, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to make a basic actor here. So I'm going to call him the upgrade guy for an ID, and I'm just going to call him upgrade guy for his name. I'm going to make him an imperial, and I'm going to, let's see, actually I'm going to give him some clothes to wear. Give him a prisoner outfit and make him essential and unique. I make my a lot of the NPCs essential because, like, say you add an upgrade guy and he's outside of your house, and when you load up the cell, wolves kill him and you can't upgrade. That's a bad thing. So I make mine essential. And tick unique and click OK. Alright, so we've made our upgrade guy, but we have really no means to purchase things. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and add a quest and add some dialogue to it. So go on over to where it says character, expand that, and go to where it says quest. And right click in here and click new. And give it a unique ID. Upgrade quest. Let's call it upgrade quest. And I'm going to give it a quest dialog condition. Right click in here and click new. And leave it as get his ID. Everything the same except for the parameter right here. So click where it says invalid. And for the parameter, we're going to select our NPC that we made. And click OK. And then click OK again. And this just makes sure that he's the only one who can, go ahead and say the dialogue that's in the quest. So I'm going to click OK here because all of these options haven't shown up yet. So click OK and go back to your quest. Go ahead and open it up and you can see all the dialogue is available now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to dialogue views and add a new one. So right click in here, new, upgrade, dialogue is what I'm going to call it. Call it whatever you like. Select that, then right click in this white box to the right and click create branch. I'm going to call upgrade dialogue branch. And I will call this topic hello. And click OK. Alright, so once you've got your first topic all set up in your branch, you're going to want to double click here. And for topic text, this is what we're going to be saying to our NPC. And right now I'm just going to say hello and he's going to say hello back. Actually, what I'll say is hello, do you sell upgrades? Question mark. And for a response, we just double click in the below where it says info, and response text is what he says back, and he's going to say yes, I do. And I'm not going to add any audio or any voice or anything like that. So click OK, and we can leave all this just as it is because all this is saying hello when he says hello back. So click OK, click OK down here again, and in this yellow box here, we're going to right click and click add topic. Okay, and I'm going to give it a unique ID. And I'm going to call upgrade, let's see, dialogue, purchase. And this is going to be the actual part where we purchase our upgrade. So topic text is going to say let's say upgrade house question mark, and in parentheses I'm going to put the price of the upgrade. And right now I'm going to click OK on the bottom right, and then I'm going to go back into it. The reason for that, actually, there we go. The reason for that is because we're adding a few papyrus fragments, and it gets a little finicky if you don't OK out of it first and go back into it. I'm not sure why, but it does, so I go ahead and do that. And now I'm going to add a response down here, so I double click. And this is going to be the response that he gives to us if we can't afford it. So he's just going to say, sorry, you can't afford that. And we click OK down here. And we're going to give it two conditions. So under conditions here, in this white box, we're going to right click, click new. And then the first condition is going to be get disabled. And we're going to run it on a reference. And then we're going to click next to where it says reference, click select, and then click select reference and render window, and double click the new marker, the green marker, and click OK. Make sure that it's selected the right one. And now we can go ahead and click OK here. And what this does is basically before running this dialog, it makes sure that the upgrade marker hasn't already been enabled. So in other words, it makes sure we haven't already upgraded. So the new condition, the second condition, we're going to right click, click new. And then for the condition function, we're going to make that get item count. And we're going to run that on the player. And then for parameter, click where it says invalid. And then begin to type gold. Oops, I typed hold. Dang it. There we go. And select gold 001. Then click OK. And now for the comparison, we're going to go ahead and make this less than, and the value is going to be the price of the upgrade. And click OK. And this basically is just running a check to see how much gold the player has. And then it, if he doesn't have enough gold, if he or she doesn't have enough gold, it goes ahead and runs this response. Sorry, you can't afford it. And that's it for the response that our NPC gives when we can't afford the upgrade. So we click OK. And now we're going to add a second response for if we can afford the upgrade. And he's just going to say, excellent. I'll arrange it. Alright, and click OK here. And for conditions, right click new, and we're going to add the get disabled condition again. And as before, we run it on the reference and select reference and render window, and double click the new X marker. And click OK. And again, this just confirms that we haven't already upgraded the house, and it won't run this if we've already upgraded the house. And right click, click new. For the second condition, we're going to make it get item count again. We're going to run on the player again. And for the parameter, make it gold 001, I should say. And this time for the comparison, we're going to go ahead and make this greater than or equal to the price of the upgrade for value. And this just makes sure, and it'll run it now if the player has more than the price of the upgrade or the same. So we're going to click OK now in the bottom right hand corner, but then we're just going to go right back into it. And we're going to add 3 papyrus fragments one by one. And the first is going to be game.getPlayer, parentheses, .remove item, and then parentheses gold, comma, space, and the price of the upgrade. And we'll click compile, and it'll give us a compilation error, as it loves to do. Click OK. Then for script name, click on where it says the script name, click properties. And sometimes it won't go ahead and do anything when you first click it. So click it again, and when you click properties now, it'll give you an error. Don't worry about that, just click OK, and then click cancel when the box comes up. Then click OK down here, and it'll give us that same compilation error again saying gold is undefined. That's actually what what it should be saying. And we're going to go back into it again. Now when we click on the script name and go to properties, it'll give us that error again, but in the bottom left hand corner we can add a property. So click add property and make the type of the property miscellaneous object, MISC object, and make the name of the property gold. And you can see why it was giving that error, because we hadn't yet set this up for the variable gold. So don't edit anything more, just click OK, and it'll add the property. Click on it and go to edit value and go to pick object and make that gold 001 and click OK. And now we're going to go ahead and add our second fragment, and that fragment is going to be new marker dot enable parentheses, and we're going to go ahead and click compile. It's going to give us that compilation error saying new marker is undefined. Click OK and click script name properties, then add a new property and make the type object reference. Oops, that's object reference, and then make the name new marker. And then don't worry about editing anything else, just click OK and click on the new property and go to edit value, then click select reference in render window or pick reference in render window, and double click the new marker with the green block over it and click OK. You can see that it's added the property, or the object of the property. Click OK here. And then we're going to go ahead and add our third and final fragment, which is going to be old marker dot disable parentheses. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to go to compile, and it's going to go ahead and say old marker is undefined. Don't worry about that. Click OK. Now go to properties and add old marker as a property. So down here, bottom left hand corner, type object reference as was with new marker, and then name it old marker. Click OK. Then it'll add the property, select it, click edit value, then go to pick reference in render window and double click the old marker with the orange box over it and click OK. Now on the bottom right hand corner, click OK again and click OK. And now I'm going to right click this yellow rectangle here and go to add topic, and I'm just going to add like a goodbye topic that we're going to say when we leave the conversation with our NPC. So I'm just going to type goodbye for what we're saying and double click in here, give him a response, and all he's going to say is take care and click OK, and just check this box where it says goodbye. Then OK out of all this. Oops, I didn't give it a unique ID, I forgot. So give it a unique ID, upgrade dialog by, and then click OK. Sorry about that. And now we're going to go ahead and link this dialog together. So I'm just going to click the hello, drag it over here to the dialog purchase, click both responses on the dialog purchase and drag them to the goodbye. And this is just the path that our dialog is taking. And once we've set that up, we can click OK out of the quest. And now we're just simply going to add the NPC to the world. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to navigate to where my house is. I just double click the door marker, the teleport. And you'll notice that occasionally houses disappear in the creation kit. It loves to do that. Just make sure the reference window is checked or highlighted, and click F5 or hit F5 on your keyboard, and it'll go ahead and refresh everything. It's just something Creation Kit likes to do to make you angry. Alright, so now I'm going to add the NPC that we created. So I named him E Upgrade Guy. I'm going to drag him. Now if I drag him over onto my deck, I believe it's because it's not nav meshed. I'm not sure, but he typically just won't be on the deck. He'll be somewhere like down here or over here, because he can't really navigate through this area yet until we nav mesh it. but I'm just going to add him to the deck anyway and just find him afterwards. And once I've added the NPC, I've got the quest, I've got my house set up the way it is, I can go ahead and save my .esp. Alright, and now I can exit out of Creation Kit. And if you're adding a new quest, if this is a new quest with new dialogue, we're going to want to generate a .seq file. So to do that, open up Steam, go to Library, go to Library and then Tools. And then right click Creation Kit, Properties, and click Select Launch or Set Launch Options. Now type a hyphen, generate, SEQ, a colon, and then the name of your plugin. I think I called mine Valkyrie house.esp, and I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe the name of the ESP is case sensitive, so keep that in mind. If your SEQ is not generating properly, just make sure that it's the proper case. And then click OK, then close out, then double click Creation Kit, and it'll go ahead and it'll generate a SEQ file. And it'll load up all this stuff, and then it'll exit out on its own. Okay, so once it's generated the SEQ, once it's kind of closed out itself, right click Creation Kit, go to Properties, Set Launch Options, and delete this. Oops. Because if you try to go back into Creation Kit and actually try to use it and edit stuff, it'll go ahead and just generate an SEQ again. We don't want that, so just click Close. Oops, what the heck? Yeah, okay. So now we can close out of Steam, and last thing we're going to do is go to our Skyrim folder. Your hard drive, program files, x86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Skyrim. Then you should see an SEQ file for your plugin. Where's mine here? Here it is. Now take that and drag it to your data folder. And in your data folder, make sure you have a folder titled SEQ. If you don't, if you've never done this before, you won't. So go ahead and create that folder SEQ and drag your .esp's SEQ file to there, and it'll be in there, and your dialog will be all set up. And that's it. Now you can go ahead and I'll go into Skyrim and show you all how it works and just show you that it does work. Okay, so I'm here. I have my test character loaded up, and I'm just going to go to my house in Valkyrie. And I'm in here, and I'll just show you. Ah, dang it, it transported me to the basement. Okay, so I can show you these are the three things we added that are here initially, and as you can see, the new items aren't in here yet. But let me exit here, go outside to where I've placed my NPC, who hopefully won't be in some weird area. Okay, so now I have to find my NPC upgrade guy. I think I named him. Who's under the, yeah.
Need something?
So I talked to him.
Yes.
Hello, do you sell upgrades? And I don't have subtitles on, so it's not showing what he's saying. And as you recall, we didn't give him voice. So, upgrade house. And it's removed 500 gold. And I'm just going to say goodbye to him now. And,
need something?
as you can see, I can't select that option again, which is good because we don't want to accidentally forget that we've upgraded our house and have to go ahead and, you know, keep purchasing upgrades. Okay, so let me go in my house here and show you that the old items are, yes, disabled, and the new items, the carpet and fireplace and such, are in here. So that's it. Thanks for watching.